All right, let's get a sense of trading happened on AFEX Commodities Exchange for the last trading week. There was mixed performance across key indicators. Turnover that rose by 1.53% from 3.92 billion naira to 3.98 billion naira. Also an increase of 8.10% in the volume of contracts traded. Also seeing is a decrease in the number of deals traded. That is down by 20%, closing at 88. The AFEX Commodity Index rose by 0.58%, closing the week at 482.07 index points. The AFEX Export Index that performed negatively, falling to 230.21 points from 230.31 points. For the volume of contracts traded, saw an increased volume across maize and paddy rice. Meanwhile, across export commodities, sorghum, sesame, ginger, and wheat maintained at 274, 1,247, and 923 and 380 naira respectively, while paddy rice rose by 0.13%, closed at 339 naira 97 kobo. Other export commodities saw a decline. Soybean that fell by 0.97% and closed at 314 naira 9 kobo. Cocoa that fell by 0.22% and closed at 2,074 naira. Cashew nut also fell by 0.19% and closed at 613 naira 93 kobo. Across grain commodities, we see maize that rose by 3.77% and closed at 247 naira 11 kobo per kilogram. For more now, you can get more details on the website africaexchange.com, and you can follow the social media at AFEX Nigeria and at COMEX by AFEX if you want more details and if you want to trade commodities right there. All right, so earlier this month, Marble Capital launched the first Security and Exchange Commission approved Halal Commodities Fund. The fund is an open-ended mutual fund that invests in Sharia-compliant securitized commodities. For more now, joining me is Ismail Yahaya, Commodities Trading and Asset Manager, Marble Capital Limited. Great to have you on the show. Good morning.
Morning, Ladi. Nice to have you.
So can you provide details of this fund? How does it differ from the traditional commodities fund? And why did Marble Capital decide to launch at this point?
Well, this is the first commodities fund that has been launched in Nigeria, so that's already unique on its own, right? It gives access to opportunities to invest in the securitized commodities traded on the FX exchange, fixed income instruments that are commodities inclined, and equities of companies on the NGX. So in the whole, it's a unique, different kind of fund. It's opening up to alternative forms of investments that probably investors had not been opportune to before now. So we look at it as something new, something progressive. And it also appeals to the religiously conscious or people that have a bias towards investing in things that don't meet their religious principles, right? That's why it's an Halal commodity fund. So we're telling you that it's basically taking all the Islamic principles, Sharia principles to heart and ensuring that the investments are compliant with these principles. And
what are the various components, of the fund, and who can invest in them?
So the fund is open to every kind of investor, individuals, HNIs, retail, pension funds, asset management companies. It's mainly, we have three main asset classes. We'll look at it from securitized commodities. Those are commodities stored in warehouses that are traded on the exchange. Also commodities-linked equities, the likes of Presco, Como Oil, Dangote Sugar. Also fixed income instruments, right? We know about the Sukuk. We can invest in commodities linked to Sukuk. And I must point out here that it's not just agri-commodities we are talking about. We're looking at, as the market expands and progresses, precious metal, energy, oil, gas, and the likes. So we're trying to expand the space, basically.
Yeah, quite a lot you're doing there. But why did Marble Capital decide on a Halal commodities fund? And what is its relevance to the market?
So it's relevant in terms of the fact that we're trying to create more financial inclusivity, right? We're trying to get more people into the financial space. It's part of the CBN's trajectory. Is also part of what SEC wants, a lot of people to come into the space, right? So we're looking at an Halal commodity fund is giving access to not just limiting it to a particular group of people, but giving access to expanding the group for more people to be able to participate. And the timing is right because we've been, if you look at what FX has done for the past few years, right? Commodities has begun to gain a bit of traction, and we feel like it is the right time for people to also take advantage of investment. It's an alternative investment. It gives you access to not your traditional forms of investment, right? So we think there's no better time than now for us to launch these funds, and we hope the market will accept it as it is.
And when will the fund be available to the public, and how can investors actually subscribe?
So we launched last Wednesday, May 10th. It's currently open to the public, right? You can subscribe by visiting the Marble Capital Limited website. That's marblecapitalltd.com, and you fill your subscription form, and it's a straightforward process basically, and we'll get you feedback as soon as possible.
And how much subscribers are you expecting?
Well, if the whole of Nigeria can invest, then that's going to be good. The minimum investment is 50,000 naira, right? So it's you can get 500 units for 50,000 naira, 100 units, 100 naira per unit, and then you can get in multiples of 100 naira. And
I'm guessing there's no maximum, no ceiling to how much you can invest.
Well, it's an open-ended fund right now, and it's the target size is 3 billion. All right, so if we beat that, then we could seek expansion from the SEC.
All right, I want you to show me the money now. What's the profit potential here?
So we can see, I mean, if you've always been getting FX Weekly commodity updates, and if you compare it to what you see on the NGX and All-Share Index, you see that the performance is good, right? You're targeting 15-20% conservatively annually, right? And that's the mutual fund itself is not giving you a fixed income, but it's looking at that region, and hopefully it performs better, because what you see with different commodities over the last 3-4 years, you see that performance has been progressive. So we expect that the mutual fund will be able to take advantage of this performance.
Yeah, progressive, and I'm hoping, that we can beat inflation. Investors can actually beat inflation at 22.22%.
Yeah.
That's quite a tall order there. But thank you so much, Ismail Yahaya, asset manager at Marble Capital Limited. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ladi.
All right, we'll take a moment now.